Hello, Zeph. Strange as you're a Canadian, eh? 15-minute chart, look at that. Jumping up, what's that? 90, 30, 43 pips up, 43 down. Almost certainly that, just think about it, almost certainly that's extremely good players, very high bulk, high speed traders playing around the ins and outs, which is like that, because there's no fundamental reason. It's not as big as the euro dollar, but it's pretty big. I mean, it's what we call the crosses that. It's pretty big, pretty liquid, but even, you know, remember if you got 100 or even 500 to 1 leverage, guys putting 100 million on, multiply that by 500 and you're 100 million, a billion, 10 billion, that's 50 billion contract value. You see what I mean? So that can have an effect. Remember, it's all about, you know, 8, 9, 10 trillion dollars a day or more. It's all contract value, it's leveraged accounts. It's not the deposits, the contract value goes. You often admit to say that. Oh, look at this, $50 billion. Yeah, well, divide that by 1,000 of the leverage. You know what I mean? If you do several trades a day, a guy with a 30, 40, 50,000 rand account, high leverage account, doing maybe 30, 40, 50 trades a day with small costs, could knock up many millions contract value. I'm sure, Zeph, you know what I'm on about? So yeah, I mean, somebody in a Middle East potentate or a Russian, what do you call it, oligarch decided he's going to put 20 million on it, multiply that by a couple of hundred, get contract value, and decided to close his position or get into a quick one, I might be out, and close his short and push it up again. Oh, jumping around. Anyway, it's near our entry levels. In half past. Yes, 4 o'clock. Excuse the morning here. 4 o'clock to start now, guys. Good afternoon. Yep, as per normal, you put on the chat line, interact, forum, I mentioned it. As always, I think there's a couple of new names on there, just so to know the rules are a bit of a strong word, but how the etiquette of the den is. You can unmute and chat, and then mute yourself afterwards. If you don't, there's background noise, I'll just have to mute you all. It's one of those things. It's a forum. We try and work on a democratic basis. All right, I'm the host, but same time, as Zeph knows, you might say you want to go short, want to go long. We'll do them both. This is a forum. We interact. It's not a class like a platform training or a Zoom class or CFD class. It's a forum where we interact, and we do clarification. Quiet moments. Trades come first. Trades come first. After that, if it's a quiet period, I'm going to do, and guys want some clarity on what that red line or blue line or brown line is or whatever, no problem. But I will say it is not for trading. I know quite a few guys that come on here in the past and thought, I don't want to buy a course, I'll try and get a freebie trading on here. Well, they can try, but they won't get it from me because it's unfair on the guys who want to trade, number one. And number two, in that order, guys who spend good money, take the time and trouble to get the knowledge, and they're trying to overcome that. It's not fair on them. So if you don't have the basic, what a lot size is, go to classes. You haven't got the classes, well, you either got to research it or invest in the trading course. Okay, SMC clearly provide it. I'm not going to turn that in my head and say you must. Of course, you must do anything you don't want. But I strongly suggest you get some knowledge on a basics level. We're not going to give it to you free in here. It's for guys who've got the basics to increase on the practical level. So I want to make it all clear, new guys, because I've seen quite a lot of the new guys pulling out the last few days because I thought, hang on, where's my freebie gone? No, it's not about freebie. It's a business where mutual give and take. Hope you all understand what I mean by that. And yeah, okay. Another guy got a bit stropped with me because I said 20 rand won't do any good to trade with. You need a bit more than that. So you got a bit shirty with me. No, I mean, come on, you need a bit of common sense here. That's a little bit disappointing on that. Again, that's why the market can be very strange. I mean, as we know, the Brent's doing okay. It didn't get into well, we're already in. TR guys are in, but from the signal point of view, it didn't reverse to the entry level 84, and it's right above 86 at one stage. So the theory should have been moved up. I thought it was a bit low, but so I thought that was a fair enough one. And that's disappointing. In fact, one of the dollar ladies and bots actually called me up. I'm panicking unnecessary. What can I say? I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody does. But I said, don't panic. It might become all right. And of course, and it did. Chopped up a bit. And then it came down. Is it flirting with the stop as yet? No, not quite. 14's the stop. 3 pips of the stop. But it looks like it's going to get stopped out. Mine's at 12, 102.14. I think you guys are as well. That's the trading room one anyway. And that's been sent out. Looks like it's surprisingly gone that way. Let's get a look at the other trades that got out there. So, yeah, probably stop everyone out and then jump up. But don't move your stop away because then it goes down another 100. Now you're going to dwang. So you've got to accept the penalty of the loss. I haven't got clever. Just leave it. It's one of those things that happens. Right. I also sent out the CHF JPY. And that was at 30. It's now 35. It popped up, as you can see. About 25 in profit. Was that 30 to 45? No, 15 to 20 in profit. Excuse me, that's my load shedding. Just a second, it's one of the managers there. Just a second, ask me a question on WhatsApp. Okay, right. Yeah, so CHF JPY hovering around. We got in at 30, so it's hovering around that to a bit of profit and back, so maybe it'll come right. EURAUD popped up nicely. We looked at that a moment or two ago. Just going over stuff we did this morning. We go to new stuff, guys. We went in this morning. Bear with us. Just catching up what happened this morning. Went up very nicely. What are we on a 5 minutes? No, pretty good. Put it out, Charlie. That's better. In fact, I'll do stick with the 15 minutes. Is that right? EURAUD, yeah, popped up nicely and then decided to come off. So it was nice in a profit. Now it's in a bit of a loss, jumping around like a hot cat on a tin roof, as mentioned. CAD JPY slapping us, but don't move your stop. It happens. I just got to get this through to guys. You're going to take losses, so you've got to work out your volumes. So if you take a loss, you're still in the game to fight, where you're annoyed. You're not sort of completely, and you're going to lose. You're not going to win every once. It's possible. So you've got to say, all right, I made 5 here, I made 10 there, made 15 there, and I just lost 10 on this one. Your net is 15 up, that sort of thing. Because the emotional fear of taking the loss, the move stops away, going too big, don't get proportion. I've got one person, I won't mention any names, who got 0.01 on one and 0.22 on another one. That's 22 times the size of one than the other. That just makes no sense. You don't know which is going to come right. I think all of them are good. I wouldn't send them out if I didn't. Now, you know, so that goes wrong. So you can make 22 times the knock of the profit if the other one comes right. Clearly, yeah, the one goes wrong and the other one comes right. That's just smiling. But I mean, that's not the way you do it. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's one of those things. Emotion does funny things to the brain. Ladies might laugh at this. I think I might have mentioned before. I was watching an American Hollywood movie. I'll just digress for a second. Might find it quite amusing. Where a very pretty girl turned around and said, "It's amazing when a guy gets within about 5-10 millimeters of me, that IQ drops by 50 points." I had to laugh because that's similar to when you start trading. Once you seem to get into the trading mode, all rationality, IQ seem to fall out the window. You've got to get understand this is a business like everything else. And employ that kind of discipline. I still cackle that. Saw a few years ago. That's quite amused, yeah. Like the ladies come up to us, handsome men. Hey, don't get it fair. There's the sound. Can't you hear me? If you can't hear me, guys, just tell me. Can you hear me? I'm not muted. I'm not muted. Okay, Clinton. Thanks, Clinton. It's your side there, Jean-Paul. Yeah, no, there's the man, Clinton. He'll help you on that tech side. I'm a bit of a Middle Ages type of guy when it comes to tech, I'm afraid. Good. So that's jumping around, and whatever happens, there happens. Okay. We stopped out the CAD JPY yet. Getting pretty close. It's hanging on by the skin of its teeth. Let's see if we can pop up from here. Brent's come off a bit, touched 86. Oh, hang on. Came right down to here a moment or two ago. God, what is happening here? 84, 87, probably up. This is really jumping around. Bit of nerves. Maybe it's fear of tomorrow. There's not much happening today. I'll give you the fundamentals today. Just quickly go over them. Sorry, guys. The economic fundamentals today. German CPI with on the CPI was slightly less than previously expected, 10.4, and they only came in at 10. So it's a little bit of lack of inflation, if you like. GDP on Canada was exactly the same at 0.1 as expected. Not much happening there. And BOE, that's not the biggest deal in the world, unless you're in the pound, I suppose. It's talking at 5, probably going to be fairly hawkish, as like explained this morning. But anyway, so it's really in starts tomorrow. I think jumping around now is maybe thinner volumes. Not a lot of guys are playing around, and the bigger boys are wheeling the price of it. Just a guess. That's not fact, by the way. That's just a guess on the top of my head, because there's nothing driving this up and down other than quick ins and outs with big sums of money, basically. Like follow the money, as they say. Not necessarily smart. They become smart if they've got big money. Simple as that. Follow the money. That's as simple as that. Okay, where are we now? What else did we have out? CHF, JPY, sort of hovering around, slightly better. URAD was up, now it's down. NZD, CHF, that was another one. That was hovering a little bit in the last look. Wasn't bad, wasn't good. Now it's about the same. 21 got in, 25. 4 pips on the wrong side, but it's just popped up. It was a few pips on that side about 5 minutes ago. So that's really telling us nothing. And it's been, look at this. This is what, a 15-minute, put an eye chart. It's pretty common, most of them. Looks at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, last 6, 7 hours. It's been pretty sort of moving sideways. So let it run and just hope it doesn't hit your stop, but please don't stuff around your stop. We don't want to get into places where you're blowing your account because you keep modifying the stop away, not towards. Well done, John, and thank you very much. Continue. I think you should hire yourself out as a resident IT guy to get some good business there, Mr. Kruger. Okay, what's the time now? I've got an alarm just before 4:30 to check out for the opening. Got the NAS as normal. Okay, a couple of share ideas sent out. Apple. Hey, where do we get that one from? Hey, that was a brilliant idea of mine. Eh? What do you think? I think that was Farney's actually. Was it Farney? Okay, anyway, it's been sent out. I think the entry on Apple is 145. We're already in it. So we're a step ahead of the game, yeah? We're already at 146.80, is it? Yeah, 146.80, I think it is. My right, not so great. Scribbling down as I'm speaking, like a doctor's writing without the brains of a doctor, eh? So we're already, what, $3 in profit per share. That's all right. Yeah, we'll finally get, I think, yeah. So if Farley wants to go long with some, we want to go short. I suggest you go Farley way. Okay, seems to be the way the game at the moment is doing well. But joking apart, let's have a look. Apple 145. So see it's opening. I think that's the 145. Just check it's sent out. I think it's 145 entry. So you can get a slightly better price to enter or see what opening looks like. We'll discuss at the time. And don't forget, guys, I think you all know this now. Don't put 0 points. We can't. It's been defaulted, so you can't do that. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Here's 145. Thanks, Quentin. As always, *1.5. Brilliant. You think I need you more than you need me? Anyway, yeah, so there it is. Now, I think it's been defaulted to 1.0 being the minimum, because guys just don't understand that going in micros when you can't do it, we can, but I'm sure you're wasting your time. Yeah, but I better know about old movies back in the 60s. Not as a fat lot of use, but never mind. Okay, right. Okay, I think that's covered that. The NAS was falling last time, but actually, no, S&P. We've got a 4005 SOP trade out. We've got a few more out, but you just stick with them. Going back a few days. I'm going to go back into them again. Modify, stop, whatever, and then you're all right. You'll keep revisiting. Hey, it's doing not too bad, yeah. Remember, it was about 80 earlier on today. I was a little bit, I'm not too keen you joining down there. I still stick by that, even though it has come off a bit more. Because remember, it's quite a wide spread on there, as you can see. But anyway, got in 405, 4005. So now it's about profit. So it's not doing too badly. Good. Now, we've got a few minutes to go before the opening. AUD-USD, sorry. I think that's giving some serious, I don't know why, because the dollar's doing quite well at the moment. No, it's come off a little bit at least. It's giving a serious 85 the stop, so you should all be in, unless you've got clever and modified it for whatever you want to do that for. But that might actually in the end come right. I'm keeping fingers crossed because the dollar index starting to move up. It's now at 106.67. You should all have that. And just in case you haven't, I will just copy and paste it for you. No excuse not to have it then, copy and paste it. If you're only using a phone, you're not using a laptop, play around, but don't expect miracles. Remember, you need the tools for the job. You remember what Churchill said? Give me the tools and I'll do the job. So, yeah, you need the right tools. Okay. But there, copy and paste that dollar index so you know what we're on about if you haven't got it. And it's going up as we speak. Gold. Sorry, I mentioned that a while. I'm putting the neck out here, but I'm on the side of downside. Now, I think that might bear fruit. Interesting, this one, because the dollar has now gone up. I know you can see a bit of red appearing. This up and down a bit. Has held above 106, and now it's gone up a reasonable amount. I'm just checking my yields. I'll copy and paste that for you as well, guys. Just give me a moment. For those who don't have it, on your computer. If you only got a phone, get a computer. If you want to make money, you got to have the tools. You can't make money off a phone. It's just no money, no phone, no knowledge. How can compete with the brilliant Zefs and the Farneys of this world, eh? Anyway, I'm just kidding, guys. Don't panic. Yields going up, so that's fine. It's taken up 3.7%. So dollar up, yields up. What's that mean? Bad for markets, bad for gold. So Clinton says, let's have a look at the sell. Right. Now, when Marcus Shearer is about to join us, wait till he joins, coming in 2 minutes' time, wait till he joins us, and then we'll all go for a long. Because he's not on here now, he would understand my humor immediately, because he seems to often get the contrarian aspect. And sense prevails, go the nonsense route. But joking apart, yeah, I agree. Where can we put the stop? Let's look at the daily. I like about $20 on this, unless you're a scalper. Where's $20 take it? 71. Yeah, around about just above this guy here. Make it 70. Just yeah, make it $20. Make life easier. $20. So you're looking at least $30 down here. Take $30, and you can. Yeah, that's the only problem. Further take to there. 17.25. That's $25. So we'll have to take the stop to there. We could probably squeeze that. It's a bit tighter than ideal, maybe a little bit better. Maybe we can squeeze that. But I go along with you on that, Clinton. Thanks for pointing it out. Just squeeze up a little bit. And then, what's that, 17.25, wasn't it? Yeah. 17.25. I'm pushing a luck a bit here. Hey, no, it's all right. Got my maths wrong for a change. Okay, it's not taking this guy out. I think you're pushing your luck to take him out. We'll try, but don't it's going to happen. So we're going it's the wrong way around, you dick. That's better. That's better. That's better. That's better. Just make sure. 17.22. That's better. Yeah, and then we might take this oak out. She might use the local vernacular. Okay. Right. There we go. That's squeezing it, but I prefer the wider stop. Your risk is only $31 a micro, or in dollars. What's that about? Just under $2, about $1.90. Make it round figure. $2 a micro or 30 odd rand. Okay, there you are. a micro. Remember, this contract size is 10. Don't forget that. Left click on the gold, right click, specifications, contract size 10. So it's a small contract for gold. So 0.01 is diddly. Okay, so don't think 0.01 is the norm. It's not. You've got to look at the contract size and work out accordingly. Mind you, having said that, the risk calculator does it for you. So it's 30 rand per 0.01. So if you want to risk 150, well, then you go, what's that? 150 times, what's that now? 300, 10 times, 5 times that would be 0.05, is that right? Yeah. 0.05, you want to risk 150. Yeah. Yeah. Now, Mr. Krug, I think you're being a bit on the cautious side there. Yeah, you're quite a sort of a conservative trader. Probably good for me in the trading room because I can be a little bit gung-ho at times. I lean towards the Rambo side. So what you're basically saying is maybe hang 5 a minute, or do you think entry is not a bad idea? Remember, it's going down to your trade, Mr. Krug. Watch him shiver in panic now. Responsibility is hectic. Hey, Clinton? No, but seriously, do you want to go in now or wait? What do you want to do? Okay, you want to try to stop, or are you happy with the stop loss and TP on here? There's some experience, Clinton, by the way, that's what I'm talking to. Okay, if you're happy with that, on there. You seem to be coming around as you speak, so start to bugger it up. So this is not working anymore. So you'd like to, you're in going at 52. At the moment you want to go in, that ain't going to cut it. So I'm just going to bring this down a little bit. There. Then you can do it there. Slightly tighter stop to make it worth your while on the risk reward. So what do you reckon, guys? Well, Clinton's in. That's one. I like it. Got some just flashed my screen from Google Drive. An ex-lady friend of mine on the beach in bikini put me off a bit. What the hell she come up for? Okay, right, Farney's in gold. One, two people in front waiting for gold for a while. See what we can do on that. What's it? 1750, 1766, 1722. Don't worry about the cents. EP, SLTP. See how that goes. Okay. Another 10 minutes to opening. Right. So you got that. I've written it down because a couple of people are happy to do it. So bottom line, guys, if you want to do it, there it is. Give you a couple of moments. Got a pen and paper, write it down. Yields are continuing up. Back to gold. Go to the index. It's still above 106.60. Again, bad for gold. So it's contributing to Clinton's idea. I wasn't going to come to it, Clinton. You just, well, beat me to it. I was going to come to it, though. Just now. Well done. But we need people to join in like this. I make it a joke. I'm trying to make it a bit of fun, but we need people to join in like that. Because, you know, one person can't think of it all, so everyone have a go, especially newer guys. You'd be surprised what you can stumble across, even you new. Plus, it builds confidence as well. And that's basically another big deal. Psychological deal, confidence. Okay, right. Well, you've all got that. We'll come back if you missed it. We've got that out. Thank you, Clinton, and see how it goes. Right. Are we still in the CAD JPY? We've stopped down that bloody thing. Look, I think it just might have been stopped out, actually. Might have been just stopped out. Just check on mine. Are we still in? That's what happens. Stops you out and then goes up. If you move the stop, continues down till it grabs it. Yeah. Just give me a second. No, still in. So didn't quite grab the stop. Thank you for that. Well, maybe with a luck we might go. But Eric flirted about a piff away. Okay. Where are we now? S&P is doing our EUIUD, starting to move back up again. US dollar, Japanese yen starting to move up again because of the strength of the dollar. That was giving me some serious jip as well, guys. Look at that. What we on a 15-minute chart came up. There we go. Came right down here early on today. Look at that. On 37.85. Jumped 100 pips in the last couple of hours or so. Since 1 o'clock, last 3 hours. That's good news. Might get some sense coming out of it. EUR AUD, I think it's done a bit of recovery there. I do CHF. Hey, let's do the AUD. It's coming off. We might come right. Keep your fingers crossed. We're still in a bit of a negative, but we might come right on that. CAD JPY is going up. CHF JPY, well, it's about 15 in profit. That's good. Start to look a lot prettier for the moment anyway. Jumps around. EUR AUD, that was mine. That was solid. Don't be on tonight. That was solid. That's just around the break-even part. Doing well, give me a bit of jip. That's back to about break-even. That's fine. NZD CHF. This was Karat. I think he's here with us now. NZD CHF. This start to, well, it's about even Stevens. Just about even Stevens. It's just we got in on the sell, get out on the buy. It's between the spreads. So apart from the spreads, it's even Stevens. So that's okay. Are you here, Solly? Good. It's looking better on the AUD USD, depending on your entered. And the US dollar yen is doing fine. That's what I say. Sometimes you need patience. That's why you're having a stop loss and you say to yourself, I can afford to lose 10 units. If it's triggered, it's triggered. I've got the stop protecting me, so be it. And now you're down 8 units. You got your stop. I can afford 10 units. If I hit my stop, I'm okay with that mentally. If it goes. And then you're a little bit clearer headed when you're trading. And then you suddenly find, well, hang on, something else crops up and then goes away and it's looking good again. Then the next step comes, you all do, see it up 2 units, grab the profit in case it goes down again, and the thing goes up and you could have made 20, you only made 2. And that's why you need 10 winners for 1 loser. Such a panic, you grab it too quick, or you get the stop loss too quick. These are psychological, quite normal errors we will start with. That's when you need the discipline. Move the stop absolute, not too close, and understand your volumes are correct, so you're not in the psychological panic. When you first start, you're going short and see this candle, you start to panic. Yeah, quite normal. It's something you've got to work on. It takes a bit of time. Not easy, I'm going to be honest. That's why I say do not trade in a demo. You are wasting your time. In fact, you're worse than wasting your time. You're picking up something that's not going to happen in reality. You cannot putt for nothing a 6-foot putt with the same mental reaction, that same 6-foot putt, if you got $1 million on it. It's a completely different ballgame. That's why these sports stars are so admired. You've got a penalty there. Are you going to win that World Cup? If you don't, you're out the World Cup final penalty shootout. Different ballgame. That's why they get paid this kind of tom. If you're going out of stress, don't expect to get that kind of tom. Okay, was it coming up now? 4 minutes to go. Bottom of the line, just in case I forget. It's popped up a little bit the NAS. We'll come to it in a minute. So we covered it. They're starting to look prettier, guys. That is good news. So we're going to shoot. Oh, Brent. Has Brent come back a bit to enter? I don't know. So not yet, no. So we can't get into Brent unless you're in. We're already in Brent, so we're all right. Jack, the TR guys are doing just fine there. Then the other guys have to wait on that. I think some have chased it anyway. Okay, so I think we can start squeezing. There's only a few minutes to go before we squeeze over. Anything else to look at? I want to do that all fairly quickly. Sorry it's too quick for you. But so we cover that little lot before 4:30 opening. So, yeah. Anything last minute or so you want to have a quick look at before we shoot over to the NAS and the US opening? And by the way, what Kaoni, is that pronounced properly? Kaoni, put in there. If you do see stuff like that, you're in trade looking good, please put them up there. You know, because we often say, look, my trade's not going well, but never say when it is going well. It just gives everyone a bit of a kick. We like it. I certainly do anyway. So it's nice to hear that. Thanks. Anything else before we shoot over? AUD USD, just break 67. We might get some sense out of it. May get some sense. I know some guys went a bit later, a better price. That's fine. That's starting to look a bit better as well. CHJPY still hovering. It's in a profit. Good stuff. Looking a bit prettier. Amazing how life changed over half an hour. Just before 4 o'clock, I was about to jump out the window, so I found out to the first floor. Now I'm feeling a bit better. Okay, maybe we start shooting over. Euro dollar. We'll look at that again because there might be a possibility with the 4 hour. Quick look at that. Breaking through on the 4, the daily, we had that. Yeah, we might look at the euro dollar. Just wait for the opening. Remember, we mentioned next morning the GBP dollar. We might get a chance of this one now. Wait for it to break through. So it might just pop its head up a bit and then come off. So look at that just now, just to remind me as I move over to the NAS. Euro dollar and GBP, yes. That's a reminder, just in case. About 30 seconds should open. Okay. Keep an eye on Apple at the same time. So you can get the trade in. The guys already in for the trading room. Hope, you know, from their own personal point of view, hope that thing can happen. I personally, I'm telling you right now, I don't need to get in on Apple. I think that's going to open down. The NAS has come off, as you can see. It looks like it's going to come off further. Yields are up, which is negative. I think that Apple trade ain't going to get filled. So the guys got in yesterday, thank you, Farney, are going to do well. Well, just as I said, that's jumped up. Just look at that, Apple's jumped up. Can you believe it? Just as the NAS comes off, Apple's like, that's a bit better. But still, I thought it opened about 141. Yeah, but I still think it's not going to get filled. Okay, it's coming off. So if you're in there, hold on. We got in at 146.80. I think on the Apple, that's $3 away. I think yeah, move it to just maybe a couple of bucks below, a few cents below your entry to protect yourself, and then you don't have to worry about Apple, and hopefully just maximize the profits. If it takes that 140, you can modify again. You know the score. You know what's to be done. You've been in the trading. You've learned these little lessons. BA's trying to come off. Well, it was. Might come off a bit more. Baba is coming off nice and jumped up. All right, well, that's just to bloody stuff me around. That is, what the hell's Baba jumping at? It's a tech stock. NAS is coming off. Listen, Baba, back up to entry. We've got about $80. Back up to entry. I think it's going to fall off again. What else have we got out? Just check F stock. Jumping around a bit. Remember, this is not a NASDAQ. It's in the others. It's in the other indices, but still, it's come off a bit, so that's fine. Coca-Cola out, so ignore that. HPQ, you might have been stopped out in a profit, so leave that. That did okay. That was a long remember. Microsoft, we should be doing just nicely on that. Microsoft 247. Microsoft. If you got it at 247 with us in the trading room, was this yesterday? I think it was yesterday, or was it the day before? Anyway, 28th, 29th. Got in yesterday. It's now $5 in profit, just over $5 in profit per share. Obviously, get your stop loss down. I suggest you move it from 251.70 to 245. There you are. So you will make a profit on this if you get stopped out, but it's at least a bit of a gap. So you've got a bit of wiggle room for it hopefully to move further down towards its TP at 236. So that's nice. That's doing just fine. Netflix, I think we're all out of that one. People still in, modify your stop, protect it. Might just hit the TP at 280. Pretty close, but looks like hit it now if you're still in. It's pretty close to TP. What was the other one? Netflix. Tesla. I was a bit negative on Tesla. Mark's not here, but his other guy said to buy. I wouldn't agree with that. Actually, I looked at, are you here, Mark? I looked into it. No, the problem with that is equities. Completely different ballgame. Equities might say, I like Tesla with a blah, blah, blah. So I'm looking at very high probably upside. They're looking longer term upside. And I think this is going to take 200 out. I agree, but not. It's completely different for a derivative trader. We're looking for a few days, not for a few years. You get the idea. It's a completely different take on it. So you've got to remember, when you read some article on equities, you could be long Tesla on the long-term share, go and buy it cash, but derivatives, you could be shorting it. And remember, I said I expect some downside around about the 187 mark, I think it was. 1A got to in the end. 187-ish, I thought get some downside. At the moment, not much, but it seems to be coming off a bit. Okay, but we're not in it. We've taken profit anyway. Is there any Oxy? Now, I expected a bit of a bounce on that one. We're already in profit, but at 68.50, but I'm hoping for better things. Oil has gone up $3-4 since yesterday, so I'm hoping for a bit better than that. I'm hoping it's going to at least take out 70, 71 area. We've got to stop at TP rather, 72, 72. Yeah, if Brent can get back to 86, maybe even 87, I think we'll hit the TP there. It's a bit close to the $1, a bit close to your entry to modify your stop to entry. But if you want to modify your stop a little bit just to reduce the risk, that's your choice. But anyway, we're in a dollar profit as we speak. So all in all, what we got going at the moment is not too bad. Not too bad at all. Just want to check the NAS again. Hope to come off a bit more. So I'm going to start coming down to 11.5 a bit quicker. Okay, not as yet, but still. Right, I mentioned Euro USD. What's gold doing? Hovering, but at least it's coming off a bit. Euro USD. Remember we talked about this on the 4 hour. When he was above here, taking this out as a curve. I think we've got a possibility of a short on this one. On the 4 hour, where's it? 200? Yeah. Okay. On the 4 hour, I think it's a possibility of a short. Where's this? 45. I think you might get a slightly better price. It's not much, maybe 5 or 6 pips higher. If you don't want to wait for that, fair enough. But I think there's a chance you might get a slightly better price. Came down, a little bit of a bounce. I want to see if the bounce has already taken place. Maybe at 38. If you don't like it, tell me. I'll put it up anyway. TP, that's not good. TP, it's 40. It's a bit of a spike. It's too far up there, so we'll have to cheat and put it there. That maybe a little bit closer up there. Maybe that'll do. 1.0425. And take it down to there. Will we get that? Take it down there. It might get better than that. 1.0240. Might get better than that. Nothing take down there. And it's a big target. But if it comes off, the dollar continues to strengthen. Good chance there. But if it doesn't and it only gets this far, and you modified your stops to there, you're going to stop out in the profit anyway. But there are. I've got a pending there at 1.34. What's the price now? No, I've got the wrong one in there. I want to put it 1.0338. Pending, that's better. There's better. Okay, that should do you. I might get a slightly wider stop there, a little bit wider. It's a bit expensive, but rather play on the safe side. And I think it's a good chance there. It's only a couple of pips away. If you don't want to worry about that and grab it now, there's your choice. But anyway, anyone like to look at that one? The dollar's still rising. Anyone like to look at that one? You mull that over it and come back to me. I'll wait. I will ask Mark, the poor guy's just joined. How's it, Mark? Just look at the euro dollar here. Just give you a quick catch up. The other stuff's looking pretty good. You probably know that if you're in, you'd be looking at it anyway. I think the dollar index is up and it's climbing as we speak. The note is up. The NAS came off a little bit on opening, but then sort of hovered as per normal. So on the 4 hour, I'm on the day now, sorry. On the 4 hour, remember this morning, I don't know you were here this morning, the 4 hour was hovering in this level here and wanted to break here. It was in this sort of level here, and that was holding. So I wanted to see a break there. It's occurred. So I think the break's occurred, and I'm looking there as short, dollar's strong. I think we get some downside here. I've got a pending at 38, but it's only about 3-4 pips away. So if you want to go in now, that's your choice, but just see if you guys like it anyway. Just waiting for feedback to see what you guys think. You have a look at it, and if you do like, you'd be entering, and then you can reply. You put a pending in, that's fine. It's good enough pending going in market. That counts a thumbs up. Finally, good afternoon, John. Anybody going to join finally on this one to make it at least 2 people to get it written down? Okay, great stuff, Clinton. Already in on John. A couple of people like this. Okay, then we go back to instant. There we are. There's the instant for you because it's already clipped it. There you are. One thing about the euro dollar, one of the tightest spreads in the industry because of enormous liquidity. This does over $1 trillion a day. This one pair alone. The amount of traded on this one pair dwarfs the entire world stock market to give an idea of liquidity of this particular one. It is big, guys, big. Okay, I quite like it. So I'm going to put this out. Just you have to sort this way. You got to be patient. Maybe Clinton, you can unmute and entertain him if you like. But because he's one of our presenters and he knows a thing or two, I'm just going to have to get this out to see if the office likes it. And if I do, then I'll have to, do my thing. There we are. Yeah, post that to the management, and if they like it, they'll give me the okay, and I'll post it. Because it's my contact, it's my my group, so I will post it myself if they give me the okay or not. Okay. Yeah, by far, it is quite astonishing the amount of liquidity this pair has. Remember, it's the 2 biggest economic zones in the world. You know, I'm talking away. You probably want to get your trade in. It's popped up a little bit, but that I say you might get a better price. But it looks like that's going to hold. Go back to 15 minutes. Yeah, I might hold a bit there. So that's just buyers and sellers moving around, taking profit. No indication on the DXY that should suddenly pop up suddenly. So yeah, please be aware, guys. Never try and say I'm going to pick a top or a bottom. Where that goes from 44 to 46, 47, 48, or 41, 42. Not a single person has ever lived has the slightest idea. Millions of people with all the variables, different people getting in and out. Remember, why buyers and sellers? We're going short. Why is somebody buying us? Someone's taking a longer term view. There's all sorts of reasons, different strategies, everything. Most traded pair red, yes. Probably wasn't in CNN then. So I'm a bit negative about CNN, beg your pardon. What's it called? The Counterfeit News Network, CNN. Okay, have you all got that? Right, just check to see any okay on that, and I'll have to post it. Not as yet. Okay, the other one was a GBP USD. Have any chance on that? 1.2, is it going to hold? Yeah. Remember, Zeph, we thought get up here, and it certainly did that. Then it came off. This is a day chart, remember, a few days ago. And it seems to be holding the 10-day. I think it's a possibility this one as well. The dollar's doing okay, and the yields are doing okay. Do you want to try and get a better price, or do you want to try and join it now? I'm a bit iffy, actually. See, I tell you what I'm iffy. I knew the reason. Governor Bailey speaking at 5. If he comes out with some pretty hawkish terminology in his speech, we could get a bit of GBP jumps in strength. But I think maybe just hang 5 on this one. Anyone, any other opinions on it? Just be aware, he is speaking at 5. Governor Bailey, the BOE, and Bank of England speaking at 5. I think maybe not get too cute with this one. I might have changed my mind with the dollar going up, it was starting to come off from here like this. You know, it's there, it's coming off there, and put the stop up there and take it down. Yeah, I probably would have been keen. Not the bottom of the range was about to speak. I think I'll sit. I personally think I'm advised to just sit tight on that. I'm sorry if you're going to miss a decent trade, but it's probably more prudent to sit tight. What do you think, guys? You're with me on that. Hey, talk about Anne-Marie. You hasn't wanted to go long on the NZD-CHF. Is that correct? I think it's slightly in our favour. Slightly in the TR favour. Okay, we'll wait on that. So that's fine. Won't put the R up. If you do want it, just tell me. Yeah, good. That's the right word. Okay, how's Apple doing? Any chance on Apple? No, missed that trade. Sorry, guys, that trade. Don't join it now if you're not on board. If you're not on board at Baba, I think this is going to come off. I don't know what else jumped up there for at all. What's the NAS doing? Yeah, see, the NAS is coming off. What's that doing up there? Where's the 200? There it is. It's a neutral zone, buy or sell it. $6 up there. Take it down here. Plenty. If you're in it, hold on. Clearly, if you're not in Baba, I think it's a good chance of doing okay on this. I would hold on, yeah. I think so as well. I agree with you. Hope I pronounce it right. Kaone, or it's either Kaone or Kione, or neither. But I see downside on this one. So anybody not on board with Baba want to join it, because I see downside on this one. Remember to share, so you will need your Excel spreadsheet, but I'll do the figures for you if you like. Anyone want to do this one? We're not in, obviously, not double up. Is that me? Oh, God, I've lost it. Why is that? Nothing wrong with my... You're keen, okay? I'll put the stuff down. I'm going to put it, just to give a reminder, put this in here. And the TP can be down. Okay, give me a second while I write it down. Okay, that's fine. Oh, well, then you stick with it, Anna. Stick with it. What's the price? 80.07. Right. Stop loss 86.27. And what's the other one? 64.68. What type it out for you? I'm doing it net without the com. The com's 0.4%, so it won't make that much difference. Okay, where are we now? Suggest sell on a dot. Don't forget the dot. Around 80.07 or better. Don't forget or better. Slightly higher. What a pleasure. SL 86. I haven't done a typo now. I'm trying to concentrate. TP 64.68. Risk is, what's the difference? 80.07, 86.27, that's $6.20, right? 6.2. It's about $100, eh? Or $100, something like that anyway. Per 1.0 per share. So please don't do 0.0 bloody one on this, for God's sake. There you are. Let me take that down. Some slightly better price than that at the moment, so you can either wait a bit or get market. I think just get the things. You got your round stop right out the way there. Yeah, it's out of the way. Going back to September, so that's fine. Now, don't swear at me, Clinton. Don't swear at me. This makes me feel remind me days on NGAS. This damn thing here. If I must swear at you, saying BAE, that's a mutual swear word. BAE, Clinton. This makes paint dry more exciting than Clint Eastwood spaghetti western. It's so bloody boring at the moment. Anyway, it's going the right way. Yeah, well, it's boring, but it's going the right way. Anyway, it's 174 something or other in 3,000 or 4,000 years ago, and now it's moved $2 in our favor. Great. Yeah, get some competition from NGAS this one for sure. Dodging boring. Is that AD coming right? No, it's popped up again. Bloody thing. Thought it might change to 67. What's the dollar doing? Dollar's still okay. Oh, whatever. That's just the noise of the market, as they say. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I've done that as well, because tying your money up, and it's so irritating, so boring. It's probably more than tying the money up, actually. Just take it and get rid of it and get your money working better elsewhere. Putting your money in BA is like putting it in the bank in a savings deposit, about 5% a year. You need about 20 million to make a living at that speed. Okay. So how's our euro dollar doing? Have you any feedback whether to send it out or not? But I do quite like it. And what you can do finally, if you're a slight profit there, Mark will enjoy this. Mark Shearer, that is. Take the profit now. Once it's banked, it'll come flying off. That's all right. Okay, just give me okay. So you have to give me a couple of moments now as a post. But hey, do you remember that? Hey, City, I'm the same, Mark. If I was short this now, right? I would. If I get out now, you got out now, it's a guarantee it'll fly off. Just give me just Clinton or someone entertain everybody. Just got to post each of the guys. Sorted. Excuse me on that. Okay, right. Okay, well done on that subject. Remember, if you've got 2,500 Rand or more as a balance, and you're not, repeat, not on my QT Elite Top Membership Group, so what's that group? It provides daily updates and trading signals. That's what I've just been posting there. I will come fresh off the press to you if you want that, but not below 2.5. The reason being is if you've got less than that, you will not be able to cope with the signals. You don't have enough money. One guy admitted that he had smaller than that, and he said he couldn't cope with the signals because he didn't have that 2.5 regime before, so I had to take a few of them off there. Simply because they didn't have the money, and they're going in all of them without enough capital and the margin for it. You have to, if you're going to do this, you want to follow those signals and you get a lot of them, you need to have the margin to be able to make use of them. Okay, so if you have the criteria, you can WhatsApp me, Roger, trading support, WhatsApp number 612934331. Correct? Yeah. So if you're not on board, if you are, don't obviously bother. But if you are, if you have the 2.5 or more, WhatsApp me and you want to be a member of the group, obviously, but please don't say, hello, this is George, I'd like to be a member of your group. I've not be rude, but who the hell's George? So you say this is John Smith and real account number 161576 or whatever it is. Then I can go straight there, check it out. I will then send you WhatsApp and okaying it and upload you. Hope that's all clear. Good. I think I'm just going to take Clinton off because he's just dropped below 2.5 because he went one of his signals and not mine. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. Oh no, what's happening? Shouldn't joke too much. Also, we can't JBI's coming off again. I've got a feeling it stopped out on this thing. Oh, well. Anyway, okay, right. Okay, anything else you want to recap on? Anything you want to look at? Anything you want to discuss? Anything you've heard about, you're not sure about, or you've talked about some index, you don't know what we're talking about, or what's the difference in the position size calculators, or why do you put 1 on a share and 0.1 on a Forex, and what's that funny looking blue line, or anything like that? Won't take long. I can update you and explain in the quiet modes between trades. Yeah, we'll take a deep breath sort of thing. If you want a full-on training for free of charge, sorry, mate, come to the wrong place. You've got to buy the course or a course, preferably ours, and attend the classes. Okay. Because that, unfortunately, to say, I can see from the viewers coming or attendees down, there's quite a lot of guys who I have to say not much money and not much knowledge hoping to get into freebie training. I'm sorry, this is for trading, not for freebie training. You're going trading, are you? I like it. What's the other one? I'm going fishing. No, remember the old story? I'm going fishing. Well, I'm going trading. Okay, financial. Anne-Marie, good stuff. Great to have you. Okay. Let's have a look. Tesla short. Okay, right. Before I do the Tesla short, put it up and just quickly explain that. We'll look at it. We'll look at Tesla first. I'll show what I mean. If you go to Tesla, left click, right click, specifications. The contract size is 1, meaning 1 share. You got that? Now let's go to Forex, NZD/USD. Doesn't matter. I'm just using that example. Left click, right click, etc. Go to specifications. Contract size is 100,000. Very different ball game. Because in other words, that's the contract size. So when you go into, let's say, Euro USD, the full-on one lot contract size is 100,000. So we're talking $100,000 there, at which you put twice level. You put a deposit down. Leverage is probably about 30,000 rand or slightly lower and slightly higher leveraged. Okay. Now on the share, it's just the difference between the share moving $1 or not. So if you go to Oxy, let's say it goes from 68, call that 69 bucks. It goes from $69 to $70, that's $1 movement. So if I put my stop now at 67.90 and I get stopped out, my risk is $1. So if you put 0.01, your risk is 1 American cent. You get my point, complete other waste of time. That's why. So what you do now is you say, where's my stop on this? You want to buy it, you know, put your stop here. It's $2.27 away per share. So let's say you want to risk, I don't know, $50, then you get 25 shares. You get the idea. So 25.0. You put that in Forex, you don't get a fill unless you got about 20 million in your account. That's just get the hang of that. Okay. The contract size is different. That's why gold 0.01 is a completely different ball game to Dow at 0.01, because the Dow is around about 34,000, while gold's about 1,700, and the contract size is the same. Well, clearly Dow is 20 times higher value in a number than the gold. So a 0.01 on the Dow, not always depending where the stop is 20 times the exposure of a 0.01 on gold. You need to know the basic maths by understand the contract. So if you see, let's say gold, let's go to S&P. That's also 10. Go to specifications. That means the 1.01 standard lot is 10 times, call it 4,000. So that means that's what, 4,000 times 10, $40,000. Is that right? $40,000 the exposure of 1.0. If you go to the Dow, also contract size 10. Remember 40,000 figure? This is also 10. So therefore, see the figure 10? So what does that mean? That means if you buy this, it's 10 times 33, call it 34,000. So one contract size exposure is 340,000. Slight difference to 40 grand and a hell of a lot of difference on gold, which is also 10. So compare 340,000 to gold, 1750, which is, I don't know, 17,500 compared to 350,000 or 340,000. So it's a different contract size. I hope that makes sense, John. So you won't put 101, 0.01 the other. It's not simple as that. You look at the contract size and where the stop loss is. That's my calculator. But just got to know you're not going to be putting 100 on Forex and you're not going to put 0.01 on shares. Okay, just to get the concept. Thanks, great. Right, Tesla, good man. That's what I like. You spend half an hour explaining the basic maths. Don't be rude. I don't think this business is going to be for you because you need maths numeracy. Like you need to be slightly literate to read and write. You can't do the basic understanding that. this might be a bit much for you. Okay. All right. Flint's probably more polite in putting it, but he would agree. I don't know he would. Okay. Daily chart. Yeah, I want to sell it. I don't disagree on that, but I want to sell it at 187. I don't want to chase it here, to be honest. I think it's a good chance coming down another $14. Yeah, you could probably do it. It's possible, Farney, but I just prefer to try and get it. I think we might miss this, but I want to get a little bit higher. I want to get around these levels here, 1586-ish area. Thanks, Jean. Brilliant. Once you get these basics, it's not a problem. And it's not, well, to me, it's not complicated. Maybe it's to some, but I think it's pretty basic. If you study a degree, it's a hell of a lot more complicated. Yeah. If you want complications, go and chat to Mark. He's an IT business. Go and chat to him. And then if you want complications, and then it goes above my pay gap, to my pay packet or whatever. This is not. Bit of practice, sure, but it's to make it complicated, just practice. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Because often it's not spoken properly about or explained properly, and mystique comes about, and fancy long words come. You think, oh, this is a hell of a thing. No, it's not. Yeah. Well, to be honest, joking apart, Mark, a lot of people do that. Makes them sound clever and part of the club, you know, using fancy jargon. Affirmative. What you mean is yes. That's one thing Churchill's so popular about. So that give us the tools, we'll do the job. Don't produce the implementation of that, blah, blah. I mean, little 16-syllable words to say the same thing. You know? Called job preservation. I like that, yeah. Well, keep them ignorant, and then you can control them. Simple as that. The more clever they are, the more they think, the less you control people. And the more money and effort you put into the propaganda machine, because they'll see through the dumbed-down stuff. That's the problem. Okay, now I don't know. Do you want to chase it here? I see the downside. No problem that far. Just want to get a better price. If I get it, I'm going to risk missing it. But sorry, was there thinking about an answer? I want to come back to Mark again. I remember this is years ago in Moya River, and I happen to know a guy who's a locksmith, and I got stuck. And it's a business, so I had to pay him to, you know, fix it up. And he literally opened the door within about 30, 40 seconds. And I said to him, 30, 40 seconds charging that. I said, you've been in sales, you know the score, Roger. I'm not bullshit you. You want to be on your way, I said it quickly. And you're a guy I don't know, I'll take my time over it. And he feels he's getting his money's worth. That's the same way as overcomplicate it, like the lawyers do. And I know a lawyer very well indeed. She's a labor lawyer, been doing this for a long time, in the early 60s now, own business, long time. And said most of this stuff is padded because the guys resent paying a lot of money. So if you pad it, look at it, and that's a lot of work on that. It's only fair to charge that kind of money. So the guy, you know, if I fix it in 2 seconds flat, you think, what am I paying him just a few years ago, throwing around a reasonable amount of money? Be fed up. But if you go, sweat a bit and pull this out, and make a bit of a carry on of it, then you feel more justified. Same principle. Okay. I'm glad you came on. I mentioned this before. Thank you. Remind me of that. It's the way it's all psychology. Yeah. Right. I looked through your stuff. Thanks for posting on to me because I kicked it out by mistake yesterday, Mark, that one you sent. This showing there is about longer term equity. It's not derivatives. Longer term equity, Tesla, I agree. I see it taking up 200, maybe 250. Remember, it's done a share split. So all those fancy figures you're seeing there is maybe before the share split, I don't know. But it's done a share split. It was 900, I think, at one stage to make it more attractive to the retail market. Remember, the retail market, I'm not talking about derivatives now, but talking about equity, where you got to pay cash. And the average guy to pay 900, which is about, what, 15,000 rand a share, off the top of my head, it starts getting a bit hectic for one share, you know, $90 a share. It makes it more, the institution could do it, but not the man in the street. That's why with the share split. So do I think it's going to have another share split and get to 900? Probably yes. Do I think it's got upside? Absolutely yes. Do I think if you buy it now, it's getting a decent bargain to hold for the next 2 or 3 years? Absolutely yes. Do I think the NASDAQ is going to go back to 20,000? Absolutely yes. But at the moment, I see downside because I still see we've got some pullback. There's still a lot of problems out there before we find the bottoms for going back into the bull market. It's completely that. It's not CFDs at all. It's about equity. A lot of guys posting, some analysts came up and said we should buy Meta because of blah, 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 blah. I said, yeah, well, long term, I'd agree. Short term, I think it's going to come off. Makes sense. Got out. Most of these guys are long term analysts because it's easier to actually, short term, most of them get involved, but it's a lot more difficult. I've been holding shares in long term for various stuff where I've been shorting long term or shorting short term because I see some down movement. So if you say I've got, you need money for this. If I say I want to buy a parcel of shares, maybe you go $1 million round or two, and you want to get a parcel of shares for long-term wealth creation, I would say put Tesla's part of your portfolio, put them Microsoft's part of your portfolio, and now, buy them now, yeah. And they might come off, doesn't matter. You put it in your drawer, come back in 3-4 years, check it every few months or so, not a problem. It's like your house price. Well, it's cool, yeah, true, but that can happen. But yeah, what's the other one? Deodata is another one. Was it Deodata? One of them, Data anyway. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, put it away, and then in the meantime, short it. I think it's going to come off a bit before it eventually bounces up. So to make sure you understand the differential. Okay. And the herd instinct. It's amazing. They all come down, don't they, together? If you see some of the indices suddenly drop or something comes up, if the strong one will come down the weak, it's just the weaker usually come down a bit quicker. That's the risk with penny shares, by the way. That wasn't penny share, I get that. But the penny share is another one. Very high risk, very high return. You can't, there's no volumes of liquidity on it, so you can't do a derivative on it, you've got to pay cash. If you've got enough cash to buy 10, maybe 15 of them, forget about them. One of them might turn out to be an absolute, like buying Bitcoin in the early days. Hey, presto, hallelujah. But most of them will fail, but the one that takes off makes up for it all. Remember Apple and all that little penny shares will start at a garage at some stage. Look at the guys who bought Amazon for $1 and it's gone up and up and up. I think it's split the shares down several times. Warren Buffett, the unsplit shares now worth about $300,000 for a share. And the other stuff have been split, so people can buy them. You get the idea, hopefully. You remember Berkshire Hathaway? For God's sake, thank you, Mike. Thought it was going to happen. Had a bounce. Don't know what's pushing it up. The oil's doing okay, but I thought it just seemed to have so mine was over to come down. Nah, pity about that. Yep, stopped that. I thought we might get a rescue bounce to hit 40, but obviously not. I don't give up on it, guys. I mean, don't move your stop. I'm going to give it. If it comes down further, let's look at the weekly here. If it comes down to here, buy it. We mentioned it again in the strategy room this morning, and a lot of the guys said maybe it'll come before we buy it. I thought it might do. I thought 103 with the oil going up might hold, but it turns out it didn't work out that way, and the prudent way did work out. But if it comes back there to this sort of level where the line crosshair is, don't think I lost last time, we'll do well this time. Well, I'll lose this time. I think it's a good high probability. If it gets back there, I think it'll be a high probability buy to make up for it. Anyway, Mike, you've been around enough. You got your stop loss in place. You knew what your risk was. You could undertake it psychologically as well as financially. And so it happens. You can now try and concentrate on the ones hopefully are doing a bit better. Look at that. You're a CAD. Oh, God, what's happening here now? Is that good? No, it's good. Shocking. Oryx doing well. It's a bit of a Freudian slip, eh? What's it? Hey, what? Blue? What's that? Yeah, that's doing well. 54.05, up 30 pips. Been jumping around a bit. You might want to be a little bit, maybe a bit sort of, what's the word? Careful, and maybe move your stop up to the entry just to protect. I laugh, eh, John? Yeah, maybe move it up to 1.405. I think that was the entry, just in case. Okay, up to you. You might want to keep your stop there in case it comes back, stops you out, and goes up a bit. But looks like it's doing okay. So this is doing fine. If you want to move your stop to protect, that's a bit of good news. What's the CHF JPY doing? Well, it's shooting the lights out, but it's in profit. We've gone at 30, I think. Yeah, we've gone at 30. At least it's making money. So that hit the SL. Say again, guys, it's going to happen. The guys are trading for know that already. Anybody new to this thinks you're going to win every time. No, you are not. You're not always going to have a good day for the rest of your life. It's the way it is. So, yeah. So that's fine. So at least that's doing well. That cheers us up. AUD USD, is anything happening there? Still giving us jip. Okay, we'll see if it works out in the end. US dollar yen, is that happening for us? Yep, starting to happen. We've gone at round figure 148 or just above that, 138.03, I think. So that's doing okay. So at least that's putting a smile back on the face. Oxy's doing okay. Well, it's doing okay. It's not really doing that well, but anyway, it's up a bit disappointing, to be honest. F stop, that's doing okay. S&P, S&P's doing okay. Hey, S&P's doing just nice. Why didn't F stop coming down more? Anyway, whatever. But yeah, so that's 50 pips in profit. That's pretty good. Just to try and cheer up after that, hitting a stop loss. And well, we're already on board with BA, and it's slow as I don't know. Talk about traffic jam. You know, it's come off a little bit on Bubba, those who joined it just now, and Apple. We're already in, and it's coming off a bit more, so can't join it now. But the guys are doing okay. Euro dollar, that's another one. No, that's looking a bit sort of iffy. Hey, we got it 38, didn't we? That's okay. That's not looking so good. But anyway, we've got to stop out the way, so just prepared for the noise. Okay. So if you look at it overall, it's not too bad. Don't let the one bad one spoil for the other half a dozen good ones. Okay. Hey, Microsoft, where's that next stop loss? On Microsoft is, where is it from yesterday? 36. A little bit to go, but yeah, modify your stop. Make sure you're in a profit, whatever happens. And yeah, so there we are. 247 entry, put it 245. You'll make a profit on it, and maybe we'll get to TP on this one. USD a buy? Not now, I don't think so. No, sorry. I do see upside continuing, but I'm not sure we're joining it now. Well, I don't know. It's not so bad. If you can, 110 pip stops, you can handle that. Put the TP up there. Yeah, maybe that'll do. Yeah, TP up there. What do you think? Should Felix join it now? We got up 138.03. Do you think you should join it now? Sort of 4 hour. But it's stuck in the range. That's my problem. It doesn't seem to be breaking through the range. Popped up and the sellers came and he might push it back down again. The dollar's still doing okay. I'm not sure I'll be joining it now. I want to buy it, but maybe it would seem to be range trading. Maybe get it a little bit lower down, near the 138. It might come back a bit. I think that's in the fence. What do you think, guys? Should Felix join it now? That's correct. That's the theory. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But that's a logical theory of life. But you've got to take, there's a lot of emotions flying out there. So a large part of retail markets are in there with emotions flowing. And what worries me, with the dollar quite right and all that, that should be there for start to move green up there. Then I'd say maybe you can join it now and stop whatever. The fact it's not responding. Look at the 1 hour. It's not responding to that. That's the major reason. Remember, you've got to look at what the buy and sellers are doing. It's all very fair to say this should or shouldn't happen. But, you know, the buyers and sellers where it's counting, the sellers are not reacting by buying, still coming off. So I'll wait on that, Felix. And I think getting some support from the TR guys on that, I'll wait. What's the gold doing on now? We're on that subject. See, gold decided to pop up, which makes no sense. And don't tell me the dollar just come off. It has the last couple of minutes, but the last half an hour. So yeah, just leave that and just try and get a better price on the buy. Okay, but that's answer your question. Look, what time? I've got plenty of time. Good. I think so, yeah. In fact, I advise you to wait. Okay, anything else you'd like to look at? Anything else you want to go over? Just to reiterate, anything you want to look at, maybe modifying a stop loss or something like that? Want to have a look at in the closing last 10 minutes or so? Anyone want to recap on? The Apple one you missed, unfortunately. The Microsoft is going like a Boeing. Well, not Boeing in this case. Look at BA. Boeing, we're doing, obviously, doing trading tomorrow. What I mean by that is we might be a little bit circumspect going into the rest of the week. There's a lot of stuff coming out on the economic calendar front, but we'll discuss that tomorrow. Okay, Mike, good stuff. I can't cook as yet. We're using my microwave as yet because it's still in load shedding. But yeah. And always new guys, remember, you're going to get the noise. Everybody naturally, when you go in, you want to go immediately in your direction and continue that direction. You're going to get the up and down. And it does play havoc with the psyche. Yeah, I go along with that, Karen. I'm still happy with them. Nice to see the blue, but I still the potential still there, yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to revisit or anything like that? Okay, just want to mention something else in the meantime. Just remember, if you get a bit of news on something, by the time you're getting that news, you're not the first to get it. The institutions get it first and they palm it out. So most of that news is discounted in the market. So when you hear something coming to you on the radio, think this is an opportunity to buy or sell something, by that time it's usually discounted. So don't forget to check stuff before you just jump on it. Because if it's an easy no-brainer, then probably it'll come backfire. There's no such thing. If it's that obvious to buy it, who the hell's going to sell it to? That obvious to sell it, a no-brainer, almost guarantee, then why would anyone buy it off you? You get the idea. So just be careful, keep yourself informed, but don't just think, oh, that news has come out, I'm going to act on it. This is a no-brainer. No such thing exists. There's got to be two different opinions. Always remember that. And nobody is stupid, so why would you sell it if you know it's going to go up? And why would you buy it if you know it's going to go down? So you can't get the product in the first place because you ain't going to sell it or buy it. I can't buy it or sell it to you. You get it? You've got to be a different opinion, otherwise you don't get a market. And we've ripped out a lot because people are not getting this. Because it's a natural human instinct to go for the no-brainer. And that's why the stakeholder salesman catch you. There ain't such a thing. There is a no-brainer. Bung it in the bank at 5% a year. But look what you get for it. No skill, no big pay. Higher the skill, higher the pay. When people think that with no money, no skill, you can make good money. It's a naivety that is quite dangerously frightening. Okay, Spindili, good stuff. Just only a few minutes left. I don't mind going above that. If anyone has any questions or anything like that, I can add value. I don't want to hang around waffling for the sake of it. I just get a few little bits and pieces of, I think, overall picture you should know. You've got the stuff, the basics there, the tools are coming together, a bit of practice. Then you just concentrate on the vagaries of the market, which can be, for the best will in the world, can be sometimes quite predictable. Hey, Felix, like you quite rightly say, dollar's doing okay, the yield's going up, and then so gold should come off and a good chance to US dollar yen. But look what happened to come off a bit. Those vagaries you can't control. We should be concentrating on those those, not looking at volumes, position size, what's that mean? Those basics you can control and got to be overcome. And yeah, so that's very, very important. Okay, Clinton, cheers, mate. Because that's the biggest, toughest thing I personally have, and most of us dealing with the guys there, is trying to get them to understand the basics. Because you cannot do this without the basics, and it's not complicated. Okay, I think so. Should we wrap it up then, or anyone? There's only a dozen or so people left. I think most have left. Any questions, Felix, John, Georgina, anybody? Yeah, coming in from tomorrow. You're right, John. Just winding up there. It's fairly new. Don't panic. You're new when you drove a car. Everything new looks a bit frightening. Stick it out. If you don't, well, quit too early. Well, that's your choice, but stick it out. Okay, well, I think you'll update with it. Okay, fantastic. We're doing our best. Hope it's coming right for you as well. The markets can do funny things, but seem to be not too bad anyway. Catch you tomorrow morning, guys. Great. Thank you, Felix. Cheers. Thanks for joining. Cheers, Finding a Company. Cheers.